Good morning, YouTube friends. I'm so excited. I have another project. Yesterday I got a message from our small package freight forwarder, and I ran out and I got this tiny little box. This is what's in it. Well, part of it anyway. Some of you, well, maybe even most of you will know what it is. It's the smallest water fountain pump I could find. And there is some tubing in here, and there are all kinds of nozzles, and oh, that can go out. That can come out. Of course, a little solar panel. So I'm going to make a solar powered bird bath, especially one for hummingbirds. We have beautiful hummingbirds here on Bonaire, and I have two plants around the corner. You can see they love to feed on, but oh, excuse me, I do not have a green thumb. When it comes to gardening, I don't have any thumbs at all, I think. So they those plants don't always flourish as well as they could. So I thought I'd make a bird bath. Did some research, and I'm wanting to make a bird bath specifically for hummingbirds, because apparently they like their bird bath to be different than just a shallow bowl. Oh, I made a sketch. I hope this makes sense. This is sort of kind of what it's going to be like. It's going to be a big bowl. There's going to be one flat, well, call it the slab, in it that's a little bit smaller than the bowl, and there's going to be a little spherical thing on top. Water will be bubbling out over and then run over the slab back into the bowl. There's the pump. There is the hole in the bowl for the cord to go to the solar panel. I have made a sketch of the three things separately as well. I'm going to make walls in that bowl so that slab can sit on there, so it's easy to take off for cleaning, because you have to refresh the water every now and then, of course. I'm going to grab a few things and set this up in a sort of makeshift to show you what I mean, to get a visual than my horrible sketches. So I'll be right back. Well, there it is, my makeshift setup. This is sort of kind of the idea. The solar panel doesn't have to be that close. There's a very long cord, so you can put that somewhere else. There's the bowl, there's the bubbling, and then imagine a flat slab there where this water will flow over and then back into the bowl. I'll make it a little bit bigger than this, as big as I can in my tiny little 50-liter kiln. And so now I'm going to have to take some measurements and get started. Got a slab. More than 3/8 of an inch. And I've done some measuring and some calculations, and I think I never told you how I learned to calculate how big to make something. So let me explain to you how I do that. I measured my kiln shelf. I want the slab to be on one whole kiln shelf so it lays flat. And my round kiln shelf for my kiln is 32 centimeters. You are going to have to convert yourself. So it cannot be any bigger than 32 centimeters. Now, how I then calculate how big I'm going to make that from wet clay, that's the issue. Okay, here we go. Another note. Where am I? Right there. Shrinkage of my clay. Oh, I'm going to have to put on these, binoculars. Shrinkage of my clay. This clay is the Laguna 66. It has a little sand in it. shrinkage of my clay is 12%. Take 12 off of 100, that makes 88. I want the end product to be 32 centimeters. If I divide that to this divided by 100, 0.88, I get 36.36 centimeters. So if I make my slab 36.36 centimeters, it should be approximately 32 centimeters when it's all fired. Depending on if you fire it correctly, blah, blah, blah. Now, the shrinkage of the clay doesn't happen all at once. Most of it happens from wet to bone dry. Hardly any in the bisque, as I have learned, and then a little bit more in the glaze firing. So I am not going to make this 36 centimeters because I might have a little bit too much overhang in the bisque state. I'm going to make it 35 centimeters. And Lord and behold, these are 35 centimeters. And my slab is not big enough. Oh my word. That's a good one, right? Oh, I had 32 centimeters in mind when I rolled out the slab. Rolling out a new slab. First change of plans already. Haven't done a lot except throw or roll out a slab. I have it under plastic now because if I make the flat slab, hopefully 32 centimeters, then the bowl that has to go around it needs to be bigger. And it doesn't fit in my kiln. So I have to make the bowl 32 centimeters diameter approximately. And then the slab that goes in it needs to fit. So that needs to be a little bit smaller, the width of the bowl, and a little gap for the water to flow through. So I have wrapped my slab in plastic, and I'm going to throw the bowl first. This is the pump. Guess what? It's already got clay on it. How is that possible? It came out of the box. I'm going to have to clean that and put it away. But I'm going to have to make the bowl at least this high. Or well, technically only this high, because this is the pump part and that needs to be underwater, but that won't be a lot of water, I'm guessing. I've not made one like this before. So I'm going to try to make a bowl approximately this high, and then there will be the sphere thing on top, sort of kind of this high and 35 centimeters wide. I don't know. I have no idea how much clay I will need, so it might become a little bit smaller. Got my clay, fresh bag of clay. I'm going to clean this one first just to be sure, and I'll see you at the wheel. Here we are at the wheel. I have no idea how much clay I will need. I'll start with 3 kilograms, approximately 6 pounds, and see how far I come. If not, I have a smaller bowl, and if it's too much, I can take it off or cut it off. We'll see. I'm going to show you how I go about centering 3 kilograms of clay. It's been a while since I have thrown a big bowl, so who knows what happens. This is just 1 kilogram. I will start with that. There we go. Now there are so many videos on how to center clay. I'm not going to go through that. I do have some things that are not mentioned very often, and I might have mentioned them in a previous video, I'm not sure. But I like to center bigger amounts of clay in sessions, like you would make, you know, like you're making a pot in sections. Because why would you have to try to center 3 kilograms of clay if it's possible to do that in parts? So I make a flat centered slab first, dry it off a little, and then go get the next ball of clay, which I will do now. Another kilogram. There we go. Just push it in there, on there. I mean, oh, what you hear is my mirror. Oh, this is a bit wobbly. And one other thing, I sometimes see people coating up and then pushing down like that, straight down. And I would say, again, make your life a little bit easier by pushing forward. And I will show you. I'm only going to push forward to the 1 o'clock spot. And look what happens. See it centering itself? I'm only pushing forward. You just need to help it a little bit at the end. Makes it a lot easier than pushing straight down when you have coned up. Now I'm going to get this flat on top of that first slab. I do take some of that slurry off in between. This clay, this is the number 66 by Laguna, actually is for hand building. So it's not the best clay to throw with. But you know me, I'm going to do it anyway. Now I know I want the top of my bowl to be as wide as my bat. So I need to make sure I have this pancake wide enough for support. So I'm going to go a little bit wider and round it off into a dome a little bit to receive the next ball of clay. I don't want that gap. That's better. Ooh. One more bowl. There we go. Third one. Okay, time to open it up. With this much clay, I do have to check the thickness of the bottom. I cannot guesstimate, but this is very thick. Let's see what we have now. Yeah, could be a little thinner, but alrighty. Like I said, it's been a while opening up a big thing like this. I do have to be aware that this is not a throwing clay, so I'm going to compress the bleep out of the bottom, hopefully to prevent cracking and things like that. Some people say it doesn't do anything, the compressing. Others say it does. It's mostly the drying, I guess, that makes your clay crack, but you know, if it doesn't help, it doesn't hurt either, I think. So I'm taking it step by step. It's a lot of clay. Closing that gap there, it will probably take off a ridge or a little bit of, oh, it doesn't. Oh, that's good. Don't think I'm going to make it horizontally perfectly flat. I'm trying to create a little bit of a curve. Just makes it a bit stronger, I think. Curved shapes compared to flat shapes. I think I have enough clay, so that's a good sign. A bit slower. Dry spots. There we go. Now, of course, I do not want this to be too thin, to be too fragile. Oh, I'm sweating. It's very hot here at the moment. We have hardly any wind. It's going to have to be a lot wider, so I'm not sure if I have enough clay, to be honest. Maybe I should have opened up a little bit wider, or make the pancake a little bit wider. But we can adapt. Slower still. That's too slow. I think I can grab some clay from under here. I got a bubble. It's getting worse. Alrighty, up you go. Well, 3 kilograms not enough, I think, because it's not wide enough. But you know what? For my first try, I might just go with this size. Hold on, there's something in there. Let's take out the water. A rib. I need a rib. This is of course going to be glazed, but you're not going to see a lot of the inside. But I am compressing towards the middle and taking out the throwing rings and lines and sponge texture. I'm not happy with the shape yet. Maybe I can do something about that too. Oh, I have one other sponge, this one. This doesn't leave marks. Now, there's my mirror. I'm going to look in my mirror. I have left too much on the bottom, I think. And I'm going to have to see if it's 10 centimeters deep. I don't think so. Let's take my ruler and a skewer of some kind. Da-da-da. Let's see. No, it's only 6 centimeters deep. So this is not good. Do I want to make it smaller? It's still very thick. I can do something maybe, but if I make it smaller, I'm not sure if it will work. Let me think about it. Hello. I'm sweating. Decided to start over. Took it off, re-wedged it, added another kilogram of clay, and I did exactly the same thing. Sweat. I did exactly the same thing with 4 balls of clay. And as you can tell, I have opened it up a lot wider. And there's a hair there that needs to come off. And I am now going to try and make this into a minimum 10 centimeters deep wide bowl. Still not sure. But here we go. The struggle is real. There's bumps in this clay. It really is not good for throwing. And with 1 more kilogram, although I cut something off, of course, I only gained 1 centimeter in height. I am revisiting this plan. Maybe I'll hand build it. Because, you know, no. Throwing this big with this clay is just too exhausting. Ha! I won. I wasn't going to let that clay beat me. So I took a breather, glass of water, and I managed to get some more clay up from the bottom because it was too thick there. I like the shape. It's subtly rounded. Can I take you up close? Oh yeah, I guess I can. Hold on. I will. There we go. I like the roundness, and as I said, I got more clay from the bottom up in the wall. I got rid of that funky hump there, and I don't know what it was. It was not an air bubble, but you know, it's gone now, and it's a little bit less wide than I wanted to. It is now, I have measured 30.5 centimeters, and of course you can oh, hold on, I can talk to you from here. You can reverse the oh, what am I doing? Oh my word. Let's go here. Yeah. And you can see my my screen. I decided to put on my at the moment favorite audiobook, and that helped. So again, I managed to get 1 more centimeter, no, 2 more centimeters in height. So it's now 9 centimeters deep on the inside. It is smaller in diameter, and you can reverse that calculation that I did before by, instead of dividing, multiple your centimeters. So if you want to go from wet clay to dry clay, multiple the diameter times, in my case, 0.88, and it will be hopefully 26.5 centimeters approximately when it has been fired. And I guess the birdies are going to have to do with that for now. Morning. It's the next day. I have had the bowl in my drying room, box, Jimmy, fridge. And it is now, it's not tacky anymore, but it still moves a bit. Stiff enough to measure, to compare with the slab I'm going to make, but not stiff enough to flip over yet. I have rolled out a slab. Hold on, let me look this way so I can show you. Ta-da! Sort of, kind of cut it in the round a little bit bigger than I need. I have measured the inside with a little gap for the water, and then I thought, if that gap between the bowl and that slab is that small, how am I going to put it in there? And then I thought, I'm just taking you along in my weird thought process, right? I'm going to make that little sphere on top. So if I make a hole in the center of that slab a little bit bigger, I can lift it off from there. So I'm going to put this slab on the wheel, cut it to this size, and then I will be probably either throwing that sphere, making the hole, or decorating. We'll see. I have my slab here. Oh, this is not going to be rocket science, right? I have my slab, I have my calipers, and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it with a needle tool. Voila. there we are with two of the 3 parts. Trimmed this one, as you saw, just a little bit for the shape and for a bevel for making it easier to wax and glaze. And I made the topper, which you saw I was very bad at guesstimating how much clay I would need. This is still very soft, needs a hole on the top for the tube to go through, and of course it needs some cleaning up on the bottom. I will put this in my jimmy because I first have to now build my walls or my studs in this bowl for that slab to sit on. So that's what I'm going to do. There we are. Rolled out the slab. Now I need to make sure I leave room in the middle for this one. So I'm going to put it sort of kind of in the middle. And I will draw a circle around it so I know where to not put my studs. That's a pretty wide circle. I think it will be fine. And I need to make a hole. Oh, what did I do? Now that I have it here, I need to make a hole for this to go through. At least this big. And I'm not going to want to have a stud there, right? So, just below the rim. And I will take that clay out. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to do this on the left-hand side. And I better do this now, or else I will forget it. I think it needs to be a little bit bigger. So I go one size up. Come on. Let's check. I need enough room for shrinkage too. I think we'll be fine. Gonna look at this because this has to go through from the inside. Oh, well, let's make sure. Do I have one just a tad bit bigger? I don't think so. No, that's exactly the same. Okay, I'm going to use this one. And then I need to take out something in the middle. Yeah, that's good enough. Now I want to make 3 studs. I have, oh no, that's not the one. I made myself one of these. You know, the The red lines are the division in 3, the green lines are the division in 5, and the degrees of the whole circle are there. It doesn't have to be perfect for this one, but you know, approximately on the thirds. Can I put it on the rim? Oh, yeah. So there's one coming here, one here, and one there. Okay. How am I going to do this, people? I need that curve. This is way too high, but that needs to be flat. So let's first make it flat, and let's make some sort of curve. It's not that much. And it's about this, I think. I need more courage here to make it fit. Can you see what I'm doing? Oh, almost there. Even more. I'm just taking off bit by bit to make sure it fits the inside wall. That's good. It's too big. So this is going to come off here, and I need you to come off just below the rim, I think, or at the rim. Oh, let me think about that. Not at the rim, I think. So this high. So now, if I have done this correctly, I have a stud that fits. Can you see what I'm doing? Let me move this a little bit closer. Hold on. Now you can see what I'm doing, right? Cut this, and it's going to get attached in here. And now that I have one, I'm going to cut 3 more. There's my 3 studs. Hello. I found a bat, or, well, no, it's not a bat. It's, gosh, never mind, a piece of wood. And this is the idea. Ta-da! And as far as I can see, it is reasonably straight. I have a level, but you know, I don't want it to be too off because then the water will only go to one side. But as this is hand built, I don't know if I can get it perfectly straight, but this looks good. So that's the idea. Ooh. Now I need to get these out. Oh well, I'll fix that, clean this up, and I have to put it away in my drying fridge because it is extremely hot here at the moment. So I will put plastic on top and then put it in there, and I'll get back to you in the next part. Hello again. The next day, I have my parts here. This is the topper. I am going to make the hole for the tubing and clean this up a little bit and texturize it. I've learned that hummingbirds with their tiny little feet like some texture to be able to sit on there. So that's what I'm going to do. This is my slab. It's stiffened up. It's a good leather hard. No, just leather hard. I have tried. Right here is my bowl. It fits. I'm just going to round off the edge. This is a bit too sharp. And then decorate that a little bit with slip. And I'm also going to decorate the bowl on the outside with slip. And I guess then it's all, you know, waiting for it to dry and fire. So yeah, let's go do those things. That's the topper. Took a little bit out here. It's horrible, but you know, you don't see that. I wanted to leave a little bit of thickness because I wanted to have a little bit of weight. Carved it with a simple one like this. And this is the tubing that's going to go through. And it has just a little wiggle room. So I hope that will be enough. I will check when it's bone dry. If it is too small when it's bone dry, I will carve out a little bit more. I'd rather have this one too small than too big, because I can squish this hopefully in there when it's done. So this one is done. Onto the slab. There's the slab. I'm not touching that anymore, as you can imagine. I will put these into the jimmy so the slip can dry, and now I'm going to decorate the bowl. There you have it, quick and easy. And my plan is to glaze these with the beautiful Scandinavian blue. It'll break from blue to green. I might even play with a little bit of pearl white, I don't know yet, but that's all I need. Did clean that bevel. Makes it so much easier to clean later. And yeah, off into the gym he goes. Hey you guys, it's a few days later, and soon to be hummingbird bath bubbler is now out of the gymmy. I had to look for a spot in my studio which was level to check whether this was level, and the only thing level in my whole studio is my wheel. So, well, you can see it is as good as level, the other way around as well. I attached a little thingy with my pottery stamp, and let me see if I can do this. This comes off, and now if I want to, I can lift this off, and that's the inside, and in the middle will go the pump. Let me put this back carefully. It's not dry yet, and I am going to let this dry really slow, so we are going to have a little patience before this is fired, okay? So I'm going to say bye-bye, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!